Hello, and welcome to this month's edition of InDesign magazine, where I teach you tips and tricks and really cool things that you can do inside of InDesign. Who am I? Let me tell you. I am Andrea Bass-Lasson. I'm an Adobe community expert. I am also a graphic and web design instructor for a college. All right. So now that you know who I am, let's go ahead and get started. First off, I want to say Happy New Year! Oh my goodness, it is 2023. We got through 2022. You guys hung in there with me through the tutorials in 2022, and I hope you hang in there with me in the tutorials in 2023. We have a lot more to learn and a lot of really cool stuff. So this is the theme of today is Happy New Year. So we're going to create a Happy New Year poster. Why not? Why not start off the year with an awesome little poster about the new year? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go to File, and I'm gonna go to File, New Document. All right, and one of the tools that we're gonna use today is Type on a Path. Okay, so we're gonna create a Happy New Year poster using Type on a Path. All right, so I'm gonna choose Custom. We'll go ahead and stick with the defaults. Typically for a poster, I would do like 11 by 17. Yeah, let's do 11 by 17. But so the first thing I always check is my intent. Is my intent for print? Is my intent for web? Is my intent for mobile? The intent for this one is going to be print. So I'm going to click on print, and then I'm just going to choose tabloid. All right, so now all the defaults are they're pretty good. So I'm gonna hit create. And now, so I have my document set up with the margins and everything that are default, because InDesign is just so good to us. All right, so next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to bring in some photos that I have already scoped out. Where I get those photos? Adobe stock, of course. Silly. All right, so I'm gonna click on place, file placed. And we're going to go and we're going to grab these these three photos. I thought I grabbed four. Maybe I didn't, obviously. All right. And so I'm just going to start placing them because I'm not ready yet. But yeah, I'm going to place some. And I'm going to place some. And as you notice, the first photo I brought in and I just went ahead and clicked it. So when you bring a photo in and you click it, it's going to come in at its actual size. Notice with the other ones, I actually drug out the size that I wanted it to be. So you have those options as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Alt and Shift to bring this photo in for me, and I'm going to put it right here just so that it fits. Now there are other ways to do this. I know you're sitting there like, oh, why didn't you just do that? It's okay. It's all right. I promise you, I'm good with my decision. All right, so I'm going to actually just hold. There we go, and bring that in on that side. All right. I was still holding Alt. Shouldn't have been. It doesn't matter. All right. So now I have these three photos in here. And what I want to do with them, I don't know. I actually like to play it by ear. So I'm just going to move them off to the side for now. And I'm going to decide which one I want to be the background. Because I got some really, really good choices. Like I was thinking maybe this one, and then maybe this on top of that one. You know, decisions. What I do want to do, I'm going to right click real quick, and I'm going to go to fitting, and I'm going to fill this proportionally real quick. Okay, just so that we can see the entire photo. And now when I bring this out, I'm going to hold the Command key so that it fills. So I think what I want to do is, let me see. I really like this photo, right? You know what I want to do? I want the poster to be landscape. That's what I want to do. So I didn't set that up at first. So it's like, how do I fix that, right? Too easy. InDesign, it's just too easy. All I have to do is go to the properties panel over here, and I can click on, see how right now it's portrait? I can click on this to make it landscape, and it does it seamlessly for us. Do you see that? Did you see that? And all I'm doing right now is I'm hitting Command minus and Command plus so that I can get this where I want it. So this is more like it. This is the type of poster I want right here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna use the tools that we have. So I'm just gonna go ahead and extend this box. Notice the photo didn't extend with it. I didn't hold control so that the photo would, or command so that the photo would expand. So what I'm gonna do is use what we have, right? I'm gonna right click and then I'm gonna go to fitting and I'm gonna go to fill proportionally and it does that. Look at that magic. What? I know. You're just as excited as I am. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do the same for this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull it out from the edge and bring this down right here. Okay. And so I'm going to do the same thing. What I'm going to do, right click, I'm going to go to fitting and I'm going to fill it proportionally. What? Did you see that? I saw it. And with this one, which is going to be our topper photo, but now as you see, it is beneath the other ones. I can go to my layers panel, I'm going to layer, and I can pull this one up. Now, what we will see is layer management is super important when you're working in InDesign. And so the reason it's super important is because things can be hidden from each other. Also, when you get too many things up there, it becomes unmanageable. So we definitely want to make sure that we are keeping our layers managed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this out to here. This is the star of the show. And I'm going to fill this one. What do? Right click, right? Go down to fitting and fill proportionally. And boom. I am so excited about this. Okay, I'm gonna hide this one for now though, because that's the star of the show. What I want to do is have an interaction between this photo that's right here and the photo that's underneath. So these two photos, okay? I'm going to create some type of interaction. I don't know if I want this one on top or that one on top, but we shall see. I'm gonna click on this one, right, to bring this one to the front. And then I'm gonna go to my window and I'm going to go down to effects and it's showing on my other screen. I'm going to bring it over here. And then what I want to do is have an interaction through blend modes. Now we've talked about blend modes before. It's just the same thing. So I'm going to go with, let's see what multiply looks like. If I multiply this one with that one, you gotta select it to affect it. I did not have it selected. All right, let's try that again. So I'm going to choose multiply. And so I have an interaction. I can see some of that other photo coming underneath. And if you want further proof of that, if I hide that, see the difference? And now you can see like the lights coming underneath. I like that. I do like the effect that multiply has, but let's check. Check screen. Oh, let's select it to affect it. Let's check what screen looks like. Nope. Let's check overlay. Overlay's not bad. That's kind of a cool interaction if I don't want the darkness and if I want to have emphasis on that. I do like overlay. That's one of my favorite ones, as a matter of fact. Let's skip around because you guys know how to do this. Let's look at saturation. That's different, right? That's kind of cool little classy look a little bit. Luminosity, that's interesting, but that's not what I want because I actually want, and there's hue. I actually kind of like saturation. That's a surprise because I was not going for that. I'm gonna go with overlay, but saturation got me a little bit, got me a little choked up. Okay, so I'm gonna go with overlay. And I'm going to tuck this right in my sidebar right here. Now, if I tuck it here, where it's that long line vertically, it's gonna make it a vertical sidebar. I want to tuck it right here horizontally, where you see that blue line so that it just nests itself right underneath there. There we go, where it nests itself right underneath. So right now I got it. And if I wanna click it, I can just click and it's right there for me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back to my layers panel and I'm going to show the main attraction, which is this one. Now I want some type of interaction. So I'm gonna go back to my effects panel and I'm gonna decide, after I select it, I'm gonna decide which blend mode do I like? Which way do I like them all blending? There's screen. Now that's not bad. And I get to see the glasses and I get to see the snowflakes, ornaments. and I get to see the background of the other two. So I do like screen because screen gets me off. Here's overlay. This is nice, right? I still get to see all four. I get to see the background, the lights coming through, the glass, and oh, I'm feeling that. But we'll see what happens. There's soft light, hard light. Hard light I like, but I missed some of the features that I want. Let's see, we haven't done lighten. Exclusion, kind of cool, right? There's hue. I do like how it pulls out the different hues, but I lose the glasses. So that's not really what I want. Let's see, saturation. Nope, definitely not it for this one. Color and luminosity. That's kind of neat, very neat, but that's not what I want. So I'm gonna go with overlay. I think overlay has the most, right? It's exciting. There's a lot happening. Some of you are like, that's a lot, and that's okay. That's okay. If you feel it is too strong, you always have the option of taking the opacity down. So I can go to this opacity and I can pull that effect down some so that the glasses aren't as strong, you know, so I can pull it down just a bit so that we can still see the glasses, we can still see the ornaments, but it's just not as overpowering. So right now that's at 55 and that's at 100%. So whichever one makes you happy, I'm gonna go with, I think I'm happy at 50. All right, so I'm gonna go 50%. All right, so now we have the effects. That's looking pretty good. I actually like that. So now what I wanna do is I wanna bring some text in here. I'm just gonna use this area over here. So I'm gonna lock these down, okay? So I'm gonna lock down layer 1 and I'm gonna say background. All right, so there we go. And now what I wanna do is I'm gonna go for layer 2 and I'm gonna go ahead and grab this ellipse tool. I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know that I want, I think I want more of an oval circle. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make this a color that's inside of this. So I'm probably gonna go with that yellow, so that yellow is bold, but it might be too much. We'll just see. All right, so I'm gonna go, I got the layer. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here to fill, and first, I'll just click any color just so that you can see. Now, here's what's interesting. I'm gonna click on that, and I don't know if you can see it through the screen, but there's an effect on that because we can see through to the bottom. Do you see that? Let me go to my effects panel. Yeah, see, there's an effect on that. See how you can see through to the bottom? Let me zoom in. Can you guys see? You see how you see in like the lights through that? So that's an effect on that. So it took on the properties of the last one. I'm not mad at it though. And you know, it's one of those happy accidents. So we'll see how this goes. But the one thing I will change is the color of yellow, because that is not the color of yellow that we are, that is meant for this. So I'm gonna click on my eyedropper. So I'm gonna go I for eyedropper, or I can go over here into the eyedropper tool, and I selected the wrong one. That was accidental. And maybe I'll grab like this yellow, or maybe this yellow. All right, so it's not grabbing the yellow that I want, it's grabbing the black part. And to refill the dropper, see how it's black, that's saying that it's filled? I'm gonna click on I, and I can drop it. Now, what could be happening, let me see, let me click on this yellow again, and it's grabbing the brown. So it's grabbing the, let me see. Let's see if I can get close enough to get, I'm gonna click on the I. All right, it's more than likely has to do with the blend mode. So this is one of the things I should have done if I know I was gonna use the eyedropper, is I should have grabbed the color before I did the blend mode. So I'm just gonna go to the different layers that I have locked. Oops, I'm gonna click on the eyedropper again, I didn't mean to do that. And I'm gonna click on, where are they? This is them, okay. I'm gonna click on the snowflakes. this is where layer management, if I had these managed and I actually had them labeled, then I would be able to, if I actually have them labeled, then I would know which one goes with which. So that's where layer management is huge. It means a lot. Let me hide you guys. Okay. Let's see. Am I hitting my first glitch? There we go. All right. So that yellow will be much better. It's more of a brownish, but I think it will contrast better with everything. So I'm gonna actually, let me go to my window. I'm gonna grab one more. I'm gonna grab swatches. I'm gonna grab the swatches, color swatches. There we go. And I'm gonna save this. So I saved that swatch. There it is. I'm gonna go back to my layers panel. I'm gonna bring all those layers back. And I'm gonna lock them again because I have the yellow that I want. I'm gonna click on here. I'm gonna go to my swatches panel. And I'm gonna choose that yellow. There we go, there we go. That goes more with the design. Okay, now it looks like an egg, but that's okay. I can also keep playing with the size and with the circle if I want. So if I wanted something more like this, I just didn't want a perfect circle. Okay, so I got that. I like this. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to put the text of info. Now, whenever I make a circle, I like to make two. And that's just a habit I have right now. So I'm gonna hide the top one. Actually, I'm gonna hide the bottom one. All right, so yeah, okay. And so now what I wanna do is I'm going to do type on a path. Let me go ahead and resize this. So I'm gonna click on here, okay. So I resized it and I'm gonna click on my type tool and I'm gonna go to type on a path. And when I click and I get that plus sign, I'm gonna click and now I can type Happy New Year, okay? And I'm gonna exclamation point, why not? So I'm gonna select that type and I'm going to make it larger. Now the shortcut way to make it, okay. The normal way to make it larger is, of course, we go to our properties panel and we click on the plus sign, and it's gonna make it larger. The shortcut to making it larger is we can do Command Shift greater than sign, and we can do it right from the keyboard and not have to move. Very cool, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the character. I think I'm gonna do, I like this one. Alphorn or Magistral? Which one do I want to use? I'm going to use this one, Magistral. Hopefully I said it right. I probably didn't, but yeah, who's counting? I know you guys are. All right, so I'm going to hit Command Shift up arrow to bring it up just a little bit more. And pardon me, I have a code trying to form. All right, so now I have this looking like I want it to look. So I'm going to bring this up around where I want it. I think that looks good. I think. But anyway, so this is the type on a path. And so what I just did with it, let me go back to where it was, is I am rotating this around so that it goes around the circle. And you can see it has that bounding box. So I'm going to hold my Shift key if I want it to snap to degrees. Right there, it's snapping to 45 degrees. Here it's snapping to 90 degrees or things like that. So you can hold the Shift key and do that. You can also still play with your alignment. So if I click in here, notice I'm still getting my alignment panel. See these paragraph panels right here? If I go to center, it's going to center that across that circle, the space. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hold my Shift key and bring that to the top. One more. Oops. One more. There we go. So bring it to the top, and I know it's centered because I did the center alignment. So there it is. There's the Happy New Year across the path. Now, what if you also wanted to do 2023? So what I'm going to do is we're going to duplicate this, but this time we're going to duplicate it inside of the layers panel. Why not? Adobe gives us so many ways to do different things. So we're going to duplicate it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Option the same way I would, and I can grab the word. Actually, I don't have to hold Option, I forgot. I can actually just grab it and bring it over this plus sign, and it's going to duplicate that circle for me. So but layer management, I won't know which circle is which. It's about to get crazy. So what I want to do is I'm going to name this circle. So the best way to rename it is to click once and then just type in what you want it to be. So this one's going to be the 2023. This one right here, I'm going to keep at Happy New Year. I'm sorry, at New Year. Sounds like New Year. It is Happy New Year. But anyway, I'm going to lock that one. And now I'm going to work from the 2023. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and double click and type 2023. Now it looks confusing, I know. So I'm going to grab my selection tool. I don't know why that was so hard a second ago. And I'm just going to bring this down to the bottom. Okay, so there's the 2023. Well, one thing, it's got the screen on it. I definitely don't want an effect on this one. So I'm going to choose normal just for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I need to modify this just a bit. So I'm going to go up to type, the type menu. I'm going to go down to type on a path, and I'm going to go to options. Okay, so now inside of here, you'll see we have options with this. Rainbow is the default of how the type is on that path. We could do skew, we could do all sorts of 3D ribbon, all sorts of things that will skew that type. I don't want to skew it. I want to say it rainbow. Now, here's what's important. Where we have it aligned to, do we want to align to the baseline? Do we want to align to the sender, the descender, or the center? We'll go over that in just a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this. We also can align it to the center, the top, or the bottom. I like it just as it is. But this 2023, one, is smushed, and two, is inside the circle. That's not what we want, because we want it to match that Happy New Year. So how do we fix that, you say? We can go over here to align, and we can say, okay, I want it to align. I'm going to go backward on purpose. We can say I want it to align to the center. So now we know it's the center of the path. This is the path right here, this red circle outline. That's the path that is following. That's what this is talking about. So if we align it to the center, that's the center of the path. If we align it to the descender, that is above that path. You see that? And if we align it to the ascender, then that is below the path and exactly what we're going to align it to. So I'm going to hit OK. Well, we know that there is a difference, right, in this spacing. So we need to fix this. So what we're going to do to fix this is I'm going to select it, and which we actually don't have to select it. I'm just a little bit extra. All right, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to find baseline right here. And we're going to decrease that baseline. See that A and that A over the arrow? We're going to decrease that baseline until it touches that line. Yes. All right. And a few things that we can do in here, we can play with the spacing. Maybe that's just too close. We can also make this larger. We just have options of what else that we can do. So that Happy New Year. I'm pretty happy with its spacing, but 2023 just seems like it should be, different. We can also make it larger, like, and it's still aligning to that baseline, but that 2023, because it's 2023, right? It's a little bit larger. So we're saying Happy New Year 2023. All right. So now what we can also do is with our type, we can change that to the white or paper to match that type that we have above. Okay. So now what we can do with our fill on this one, we can actually choose none because we like that screen that we have on that one and the way that that one is coming through. And look at that. We have our type on a path. I'll hit W, you can actually see it. But what we can also see is that that isn't aligned exactly as it should be to the baseline. So let's go ahead and decrease that a bit because we want them to match. Okay, so let's see. This one is just a little bit off. Let's bring that down a little bit. Okay, so there's our magic number. All right, so now we have our type on a path. What I'm gonna do is go back to, remember I had that circle that I hid, which is right here, and then make a decision on if we want to keep this circle or not. Let me see. It was this one. I have it locked. Okay, that's why. All right. So let me select this one. Okay. If we want to keep this circle or not. Now, one thing comes to mind, like we can play with the colors. We could maybe make that circle black, maybe give that circle a different blend mode. We could, let's see, FX, change it from screen to maybe multiply, or what other options do we have? We have overlay, and then sometimes the effect just doesn't work at all, and we just get rid of it, you know? So there is hue, and I'm actually not upset with it at hue. I think that's kind of interesting. Okay, but the last thing that I want to do with this is I want to take this inner circle that I think is New Year. Yeah, I think that yellow circle is New Year because I like that circle, but I don't like, okay, so I'm going to bring that circle down here. I'm going to lock New Year. And for this one, I'm going to get rid of the text because I don't want it to be a type on a path. I actually want it to, I'm going to use this circle in a different way. Okay, so let's see. So with this one, now that we know that our type is lined up, I'm going to actually change the, oh, I think I selected the wrong one. Hang on. Lock. I want this one. So with this one, I'm going to actually, no, that's not the one I want. This one, I'm going to change the fill to none. Okay, because the reason that I wanted that circle was just because I wanted to frame that type on a path. Okay, so then I want, let me hide you. Okay, I want to lock down 2023, and I just want to work with this circle until I get it to the size that I actually want it to be. Because it's just an accented piece to bring this poster together, okay? So there is a type on a path. More things that I would do with this would be add like effects to the type, but that's a different video, and add a stroke or just different effects. But the goal of this one was to give that type on a path and to give you a, to show you a poster and the effects that you can use to create a poster, right? So this is our Happy New Year's poster. We use type on a path. We use all sorts of blend modes to create the effect that we wanted. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I don't know, let me know. You know how you let me know? Put a like, a comment, you know, and just tell me in the comments. All right. So that being said, this is me. That concludes our video for this month. Hopefully, like I said, you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something from it. If you want to contact me, this is my contact information for Instagram, Behance, and YouTube. If you have ideas that you want to let me know, please tell me. If you're like, oh, I want to learn this in InDesign, let me know and we will create content for it. All right. So until next time, again, I hope you guys are having a wonderful 2023. I will see you next month with another video. Ta-ta for now. Ta-ta, ta-ta, ta-ta.